If you saw the scenes on the outskirts of Mumbai today, it's hard to believe that all of this was precipitated by a violent incident where an old shopkeeper was slapped by thugs of the MNS who, by the way, still haven't been acted against. Well, NDTV's coverage of this unseemly incident and the VIP protection of an MNS brat has precipitated an all-out war of words, a political meltdown for the ages in Maharashtra. Take a look at what happened today.
Brazen MNS on Mumbai street, claiming to be protesting to uphold the Marathi pride. Days after its workers have been caught beating and abusing people, the self-claimed protectors of Marathi hits the street. Thousands gathered in Mira Bhayandar for a rally organized by the Marathi Ekikaran Samiti in collaboration with the Maharashtra Nirman Sena. The event was positioned as a counter-protest to a traders' rally held earlier against the MNS. Despite the massive turnout, the administration denied MNS the permission for the rally, citing logistical concerns. Notices were issued to organizers and participants, and multiple preventive detentions were also carried out.
मैंने जब पुलिस कमिश्नर से पूछा तो पुलिस कमिश्नर ने मुझे कहा कि हमने उनको रूट चेंज करने के लिए कहा था, लेकिन वो एडमेंट थे कि हमको ये रूट लेना है, इसलिए पुलिस ने उसको नकारा है। छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की, छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की, छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की।
ते आजचा आमचा मराठी भाषेची आग्रही मागणी आहे, मराठी भाषेचा मोर्चा आहे।
आम्हाला काय मांग काय, तुमची मांग काय?
आम्हाला आमच्या राज्यामध्ये मराठीचा आदर झाला पाहिजे, मराठी बोलता आलं पाहिजे।
The police crackdown sparked strong reactions.
महाराष्ट्राचे मुख्यमंत्री, महाराष्ट्राचे गृहराज्यमंत्री यांनी असं सांगितलं की आम्ही मोर्चाला परवानगी देत होतो, फक्त रूट बदलायला सांगत होतो. मला स्पष्टपणे सांगायचं आहे की मोर्चाची परवानगी पोलीस द्यायला तयार नव्हते आणि जो रूट बदलण्याचा विषय आहे तो ते आम्हाला सांगत होते. घटना घडली मीरा रोडमध्ये, व्यापाऱ्यांनी मोर्चा काढला मीरा रोडमध्ये आणि आम्हाला सांगत होते मोर्चा काढा घोडबंदर रोडला. मला सांगा, मीरा रोड मधल्या घटनेचा घोडबंदरला कोणी मोर्चा काढता का?
Some days back they had given permission to non-Marathis to do a andolan. Now when Marathi people or Manse people are thinking to do a andolan or a demonstration, then this government denied permission to them. But BJP is purposely making a war between Marathi and non-Marathi, looking at Mumbai election and Bihar election.
Shortly after Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis explained the police action, his own alliance colleague, Thane MLA and Transport Minister broke ranks, rushed out of the assembly and joined the protest. However, he was later heckled by the crowd.
नहीं जा रहा हूँ मीरा भाईंदर में, अगर पुलिस की हिम्मत रहेगी तो पुलिस प्रताप सरनाईक को गिरफ्तार करके दिखाए।
सर, पर चीफ मिनिस्टर ने कहा है कि रूट ठीक से सिलेक्ट नहीं किया गया था।
जो कुछ भी रहने दो, सभी मराठी भाषिकों को उठा के उन्होंने जेल में डाला है, वो सभी मराठी भाषिकों को छुड़ाने के लिए।
Later, representatives of the other two Senas of Shinde and UBT camps were also seen at the protest site, trying to seem standing with the Marathi cause. While Netas have their political compulsions, over the last few days, NDTV has been running a persistent campaign against MNS hooliganism and violence. They have shown their crass actions, whether it was beating of a shopkeeper or when MNS Neta's brat son was seen abusing a woman in drunken and half-naked state.
बिल्कुल लोगों को मराठी सीखनी चाहिए, पर किसी को मार के मराठी कोई नहीं सीख पाएगा। मार के हम कभी कोई काम नहीं कर सकते हैं, बट हाँ, हम प्यार से जो चीज़ करवा सकते हैं, कभी गुंडागर्दी से नहीं करवा सकते।
We have been putting all the tough questions to the authorities and demanding action against shameful conduct of Raj Thakre's party.
The language row has intensified here in the state of Maharashtra, especially after the involvement of political parties and civic societies. At the same time, statement by Bharatiya Janata Party Member of Parliament Nishikant Dubey, which is extremely controversial, has also shed light on whether this is just an attempt to create political fodder by the ruling dispensation. With camera person Mahesh Halwai, this is Anuj Rai reporting for NDTV from Mumbai.
Two prominent faces from Mumbai politics, Priyanka Chaturvedi of the Shiv Sena UBT and Prithviraj Chavan, a former Chief Minister of the state. I spoke to them a little earlier about this big meltdown. It's been a day of very ugly war of words between different parties in Maharashtra. the BJP as well, and I'll come to some of those a little later, but I'd like to start with getting your opening views on the MNS, the things that the MNS has done that has precipitated this entire political crisis right now.
No, actually, Shiv, it is not MNS which has precipitated this entire crisis. It is the government of Maharashtra. It is government of Maharashtra's decision that brought in a GR which was making a language compulsory for first grade students. Our objection was not to the language. I will continue to repeat because I've been very surprised. Shiv, allow me to complete.
I will allow you to complete. I will allow you to complete, Priyanka, but I'm asking you about specifically the MNS. I will allow you to complete and talk about the language policy, but about the Slapgate issue where a person was slapped on the Marathi issue.
I'll have to bring in the context. I'm sorry. No.
There is no context to a person being slapped.
The story doesn't begin from where you want it to begin.
No, I'm sorry. Then you're supporting the MNS's violence.
No, 1 second. I'm sorry. I will have to bring.
I'll have to point that out then.
No, I'm not supporting anybody. You haven't even allowed me to complete.
Okay, complete.
I haven't even been allowed to come to that point.
Complete.
This is unfair. You are trying to tell me that what I should be speaking.
Complete your point, Priyanka. Complete your point.
I'm sorry, Shiv, the problem is, and I have been quiet over last 2 weeks, but I have been seeing an entire narrative come out, and without bringing the context, it's unfortunate that we start from a part where MNS has begun. I totally do not agree with what has happened with regards to being slapped and violence. And for the violence that they indulged in, there's a law and order, mechanism in Maharashtra, which the Home Minister of Maharashtra has adhered to, and he has booked them under sections which were bailable, and they have got that bail.
The government of Maharashtra has not done its job as well,
start with what I was saying?
Yes.
No, whether they've done their job is for you to judge. Please allow me to just bring the context.
Yeah.
I'm not here as a spokesperson of the BJP. I'm here as a spokesperson of my party.
Correct.
And where my party stands on this issue and where we come in, right?
Yes.
So we came in at a point where we said grade 1 students should not be forced or pressurized to study a third language, and they should have an option. They realized their mistake. They figured that they could not bring in a language in this kind of a manner. That is why you saw a lot of debates happen around it. It only came after there was strong opposition against it. Now, with regards to what happened, I will tell you just one thing here, Shiv Aroor. Shiv, there are 12 crore people in Maharashtra, out of which about 1.5 crore come from other states. All are peacefully coexisting in Maharashtra. My own parents came from Uttar Pradesh to make a life for themselves in Mumbai.
That's right.
My own parents, if I was to say, I'm a first generation migrant to Mumbai. But look what Mumbai has given me, look what Maharashtra has given me. The party you're accusing of not being tolerant to Hindi language is a party that has sent me to the Rajya Sabha and has given me the opportunity to represent Maharashtra, for which I will forever be grateful. I speak Hindi, I speak Marathi, but I speak very limited Marathi, but I have never faced any kind of backlash. But that does not mean that out of the 1.5 crore people that come from various other states, even Hindi-speaking states, will disrespect the language, will disrespect the state that they come from.
No, but how does that justify what I'm asking? That doesn't justify any violence.
Absolutely expected of you to.
But Priyanka,
no, it's not justifying anything.
Your context is absolutely right. I completely agree with every word that you're just saying. And I actually commend you for being perhaps one of the first few people to come out and outrightly condemn any forms of violence. The question is, why isn't this being done more explicitly at a party level?
No, I don't think party has not explained that. It's just that people are not willing to, I'm sorry, not even people. The news channels are not putting a front forward. And that is a fact. Till now I'm being asked that why are we opposed to a language? We're not opposed to the Hindi language.
Yeah.
And why is it that we, this entire narrative and nuance is lost as to what we were protesting against?
Priyanka,
and let me tell you, there was a tweet of Mr. Kedia who said, I have been living in Maharashtra for 30 years and I dare Mr. Raj Thackeray to try and teach me Marathi. How is it respectful to the state that he's living in and which has probably given him the opportunities that have made him a businessman?
I understand the point you're making, Priyanka. I understand the point you're making, and I would also say, but that does not justify violence.
How is it okay?
Yes, bad behavior, being disrespectful should be condemned. The law should take its course.
Again,
but
I will repeat.
At somebody,
you are provoking.
People.
No. Okay. Okay, so
It's a dangerous
Okay,
precedent
so
you're
you-
setting,
you are
Priyanka, by
absolutely
saying
okay
that
with-
you should be
so
disrespectful,
again,
otherwise
I have-
violence will happen.
No, again, I'm repeating to you. I think I've already spoken about the violence issue. I do not
Yeah.
want to keep repeating it. My point is this. Provocation continues. A BJP member of parliament, Mr. Nishikant Dubey,
Correct.
has said
I was going
all
to ask
kinds
you
of
about
things
that.
about Maharashtra. He has spoken in such a, I mean, the words I will not want to repeat, but I would want to remind Mr. Nishikant Dubey that if he says the coal mines or whatever mines that he was boasting of from Jharkhand are in his state, if Tata Group set up the first industry in their state, why is it an unfortunate reality today that people of Bihar, people of Jharkhand are unable to find job opportunities in their states? That is why they come to states like Maharashtra, which has given them love, which has given them respect. And today, 1 second, please, you'll have to allow me to complete. Highest GST paying state, highest GDP state. Every single rupee that goes out of Maharashtra in taxes, we only get 3 paise back in return. And for you to sit and say that what have Marathis done, what industries you have, who are y'all, and how can you, if y'all come to our state, we will beat you black and blue. Is that not provocation? And why is the Bharatiya Janata Party silent on this? Then their former MP, who also happens to be a Bhojpuri actor, he said, I dare them to come and react.
Yeah.
You are daring people. You're, of course,
No, that is inflammatory for sure. And Priyanka, I want to assure you of one thing.
Right?
We have been calling out every one of the people that you named, including the MP you named, Nishikant Dubey, including the Devendra Fadnavis government, including the the machinery within Maharashtra that has actually not acted and given a VIP long rope to anyone who's been provoking. We've been calling for action, which leads me to my final question. And I am aligned with most of what you're saying right now. But my final question to you is, even someone like a Sanjay Nirupam speaking at the political level, Priyanka, final question. He says that the Shiv Sena, UBT and the MNS are desperate politically and that's why they are having to indulge in such politics. Your response, Priyanka Chaturvedi, to that?
You know, if you would have given me example or a quote from anyone who's respectable and who carries some credibility, not somebody who got his first chance from Shiv Sena, who went on to the Congress party and who is now in some other party making some claims like this, and who's also finding his own political relevance in the state, making these quotes. I'm sorry. Because his own party leader, Mr. Shinde, who also happens to be the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, hasn't come out and condemned what Nishikant Dubey has said. Mr. Nirupam himself would not have condemned. So that in itself goes to show who's a desperate party here to stay on in power and cling to power. So if there was anyone credible voice you would have given to me, I would have probably answered, but this makes me only laugh. I'm sorry.
Okay, looks like everyone is having their say and this war of words is going to continue. We hope that it doesn't, but it's the way it's actually playing out. There are obviously political compulsions on all sides as well. But Priyanka Chaturvedi, appreciate the words that you've spoken here on NDTV. Thanks for joining me. Mr. Chavan, welcome, sir. Thank you for your time here on India Matters. My opening question to you, sir, is what are you making of this very ugly and escalating war of words in Mumbai and the rest of Maharashtra, sir?
Basically, the issue is about imposition, compulsory imposition of the third language, which is Hindi, from class 1. The entire state is up in arms about this policy. This is nothing but one nation, one language, one nation, one religion, one nation, one election, one nation, one tax. This is the RSS mindset. And people are obviously worried that it will be at the cost of Marathi. So, like one man, all the political parties are one on issue, that we do not want any imposition of Hindi from class 1 in Maharashtra. That's the whole issue.
Yes.
Congress party has taken a stand. The Shiv Sena and the Nirman Sena have taken a little more aggressive stand. But ultimately, when the government saw that the entire state is against them on imposition of Hindi, the government had to reverse its stand and they had to give in to the popular demand. The issue is over. Now, obviously, Shiv Sena and Manasseh want to make this issue for political purposes. So they held a rally. Nothing wrong with that. They want to celebrate and want to take the credit only for themselves. People know what is happening. That's for them. We have no issues about it. I don't think Congress party joined the celebrations or whatever they had. Some parties did join. So matter is over. They celebrated. That's fine. Government had to reverse the decision to impose Hindi. Also fine. It's a victory of the people. Now beyond that, if you want to stretch the issue further, and if anybody wants to beat up the North Indians, that is just not acceptable. I think one of the proponents of this whole debate, I think somebody is being propped up by Mr. Devendra Fadnis. Because if any political person takes law in his hands or try to beat up people who do not speak Marathi, that is just not acceptable. I mean, with a folded hand, we want to request people who have come to Maharashtra and found shelter in Maharashtra, earning their livelihood in Maharashtra. The request is you should work in Marathi. You should and speak Marathi. That's a simple thing. But we don't want to make compulsion that we'll beat you up if you don't speak Marathi. That's absolutely ridiculous. It is the failure of the law and order machinery. It is the failure of the Chief Minister, who also is the Home Minister.
Do you think harsher action needs to be taken against those who indulge in violence in the name of language, sir, as we've seen the MNS particularly indulge in and it is because of political compulsions that you describe that there appears to be a long rope for many of these parties?
Absolutely. I think the state government, particularly Chief Minister and Home Minister Devendra Fadnis, must put these people behind the bars. It's one thing to be proud about our language.
Yeah.
Everybody is. But to beat up people who are earning their livelihood, you are adding to Maharashtra's GDP, Maharashtra's growth. They're all contributing to Maharashtra's well-being, Maharashtra's wealth. We cannot treat them like that. Of course, with folded hands, we'll request them to please use Marathi, because you cannot sort of. There's a hidden agenda.
Yeah.
See, if you remember, if you look at the history, the whole agitation was when the linguistic states were formed on the linguistic basis. Only Maharashtra and Gujarat were clubbed together because there's a fear among the powers that be that Marathi people will not treat Gujaratis who are working in Mumbai. There'll be problems there. That's why they wanted to keep Gujarat and Maharashtra together. There was a huge agitation in Maharashtra, and so was in Gujarat. Gujarat wanted a separate state. Maharashtra wanted Sanyukta Maharashtra. 105 people were shot in one day by the then Chief Minister, then Home Minister Morarji Desai. And with the blood of 105 martyrs, and even more so who went to jail, we finally got a separate Marathi-speaking state of Maharashtra on 1st May 1960. And on the same day, a separate Gujarat state was constituted. So that's that. So entire background to this whole issue was to carve out Mumbai separately.
Yes.
We give Mumbai a separate existence, which is not acceptable at all to people of Maharashtra. The status quo must continue. Mumbai is very much a part of Maharashtra. Yes, there are a lot of other people coming and contributing to the growth of the state, the growth of Mumbai. They welcome, as long as they respect the sentiments of Marathi people. And a simple request is that, you want to speak your mother tongue, fine, but you also communicate in Marathi, learn Marathi if you can, take some pace to. But beating up somebody who does not speak Marathi, and particularly dhaba wala, cha wala, rickshaw wala, is ridiculous. I mean, they just want to gain some political might for the Mumbai elections.
Prithviraj Chavan, I'm glad you've been very clear in your condemnation of violence and a call to action, and I thank you for that, and thank you for speaking to us here on NDTV, sir. Thank you.